Hello and welcome back to the Trivial Pursuits of Jug and RTDL. I'm RTDL coming to you from Central Texas.
And this is Jug, and I'm here in Northern California.
Awesome. So today we have no clue what we're going to talk about. But the first thing I want to ask you is, what are you drinking this morning?
Of course, Lagunitas, homegrown,
Yeah.
but since it's morning, I have the orange juice in there too, just for the
Oh,
first
yeah. Well,
beer.
beer mosa. But I noticed that glass, that's a revolver glass, now defunct. Look, what a coincidence.
Uh, that's a
But I'm
nice
just,
place too.
Bell's Too Hearted from Michigan.
I like that one too.
So we don't know what we're going to talk about today. I had some ideas based on the ideas you threw at me over a few text messages covering about 2 or 3 months worth, but what were you thinking?
But yeah, we could just catch up from our last visit.
Well, our last visit, we were talking about, I think we were talking about the New Yorker article and New Yorker video. We also, before that, we talked about some poetry, and we could definitely talk about poetry. We talk about your poetry, and we could go back to that best American poets from 2025. Or we could talk about Gödel, Escher, and Bach and how we're never going to tackle that book if we don't get started.
Okay, let's do this. Let's put the poetry aside for this episode. Though I am interested in. And I like that poem that you sent the other day. It was the first stanza was really good.
Our last
Mm.
agreement was to, I think, start on July 9th and start Gödel, Escher, Bach and do it over 20 weeks, 30-minute
Right.
episodes, which I don't know how that's going to happen, but we'll see if we do that.
So we'd have to read a chapter a week, right?
Yeah,
And I think when we started our book club on that, I think we got to through two chapters maybe.
maybe 3, but that's about
Yeah.
it.
So are you interested in bringing Whirly back into the fold?
Yes, I am, or anybody that'd be interested, but that's what we're talking about here. I was reviewing it this morning just to see. I remember kind of vaguely talking about it, but
I remember getting bogged down in some of the math calculations, but I was doing a lot of math, which is probably not the right way to go through this. I don't need to understand every single
because we were
bit of
talking
it.
more about the puzzles maybe than we were the substance
Yeah.
of the book.
Right, right. So we need to I'm not gonna let myself get bogged down. And I haven't reached out to you remember Bob, but he might be interested in doing maybe one episode.
We got to
He,
get Bob on there.
he's probably an at one time expert in Gödel Escher.
Did he teach it or something? I'm not sure if he did.
He taught a course at the recently shut down Hampshire College. Did you hear that it's shut down
Oh,
in Amherst? It was shocking to me. I mean, I just heard it. Maybe I didn't double check it or anything, but that's what I heard.
misinformation. Well, yeah, and I was reading through there, and the debate in the first chapter is, well, part of the debate in the first chapter is whether AI is even possible. And this is, I guess, he releases in the 70s, late 70s. So
Yeah, but I think is he talking about the Turing test, or is he talking about
I believe
because he
that's what
can't?
it was. I
Yeah.
didn't read all the way through this, but I think that's where it ended up. And that has to do with whether it can be sentient or not, right? More than
Yeah,
anything.
see, I
Where,
look at AI that way. I don't think we're gonna get to general AI anytime soon. But
yeah.
what it's doing is it's just passing the Turing test, these large language models, which doesn't impress me really that much. I mean, they do those drawings and stuff, those things I send you, but
They all look the
that
same, but I did see
yeah,
that Getty Images made I guess, an agreement with ChatGPT. So they're going to have all those unlimited graphics that Getty Images have. So maybe they'll get better. But I see so many AI generated things. They all look the same to me.
they do. And I am doing this summer class, which is 8th grade math topics. Anyway, there was one of the topics was transformations. It was the first time I tried this. typed in, make me a slideshow about transformations, and it did.
Mhm.
The problem was the little details. I couldn't just go in and change anything easily.
Okay.
It came out looking good, but it wasn't accurate really, and it wasn't exactly what I wanted.
We did a Power Pints, today's July the 3rd, by the way, and we have
Yes.
4th of July weekend, coming up, but our family had our 4th of July celebration last week, and
Okay.
when we have these big family celebrations, we always do a thing called Power Pints, and you get 5 minutes to present your topic, and we usually have slideshows or whatever, but mine was on actually Chat GPT. I said, "You," and it was, "You're wrong about Chat GPT because Chat GPT is wrong about me." Anyway, the long and short of it is that I don't like to use that, but but everybody else in my family, they do use it and they consult it a lot. So I thought, well, I'll just try it out on me. And I was looking up, I was trying to find this analog computer stuff that I'd written years ago and see if I could get a picture of this analog computer. And so I went down this rabbit hole, and I think I actually seeded Chat GPT with some misinformation. And I wonder if you searched my name in this software, if you would get some misinformation and if it would stay. That's what I wonder about Chat GPT. How does, because it does a lot of, if you look and see what it does, it searches through all these places, but Reddit is one that I see almost every time. That's just people's opinion, right? I think.
Yeah. So it's getting what's going to end up doing, since it's gathering all information, you know, the probably the least amount of information it's gathering is like 100% vetted scientific type of information. Most of it is just people's opinions, and that brings, you get to the mean. You're not getting exceptional results, you're getting average results.
Yeah, and that was, I guess, an extension of Wikipedia in a way where people could go in and enter things into a topic. But I don't know that I don't know that's necessarily any better.
Yeah, that's gonna end up being not even as good as you could do on something, for example. It's gonna be average, so
Yeah.
whatever it is you're looking for, you're gonna get an average anything. It's in the middle, so the best is over here, the worst is over here, most of it is in the middle.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you want the best information, right? You want the best quality PowerPoint, you want the best quality argument, but that's not what you're
Sure.
gonna get.
Uh,
That's not what you're gonna get. Yeah.
I do know that a lot of people that I know, including my daughter, use it to summarize things. She even used just to help her write her performance review. We were joking about that yesterday, and I said, "Well, that's okay because they're just going to use
Yeah.
an AI
Yeah.
agent to summarize that. They're not even going to read it probably," which negates the point you even writing it in the first place.
Right, I mean, I think that's fine to use it for all that types of stuff. It is good at that. Summarizing, like doing the podcast thing, that's it's just something it would take a person a long time to do. It does it quickly. That's one
That's
thing.
right.
That's good.
And I have a friend that codes. He does coding with Python, and he does a lot of electronic controls. And he has Chat GPT write him little subroutines, and he can go in there and edit them. But he said it just take me a long time to put that together, and it just does it
Yeah.
for me.
No.
I'm like, yeah, I can
Yeah.
can get that.
I agree with that. That's a good use. There's many good uses. It's positive in a lot of things, but I'm not afraid of it taking over the world or anything like that. Just yeah.
I'm not either, but I think the job front is going to change how people go to work. I think, or what jobs are available. There's no question about that. The question is, will we ever get to Wall-E? But
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of fun.
I I don't understand these visions of where AI does everything and there's no need for humans to even work at all, and so I just don't understand what does that really look like? What are people doing for money, or do you need money, or is it like Star Trek? Do they
Universal
even
income.
have money? Do they have money in Star
Well,
Trek?
maybe it renders money useless, but there's got to be some way for people to be ambitious to get ahead. How you going to step on someone's neck If I don't know if you don't have a little bit of a
How c how
bargaining power.
can you how can you become the first what's after trillion, zillionaire? Is it gonna be an AI? Is it ChatGPT?
Well, you know what drives me crazy, is that Copilot. I use Microsoft a lot for things, as many of us do, and the Copilot button's there. Now I just want it to go away, so I'm, like, Googling how to get rid of the Copilot, and the first thing is an AI generated response of how to do it. So it's in there. It's like you almost have to use it. I mean, you have to find your way not to use it. And so then I see that thing on the edge of my page. I'm like, "What is this thing?" And I click it, and it said, "Do you want me to tell you about the spreadsheet?" I was using Excel.
Yeah.
I thought, "No, I don't want to." And I thought, "No, this is actually a spreadsheet I've been building since, like, 1992. I've used it. It's got a lot of gas calculations, ideal gas mostly.
Uh,
But, yeah, I want you to tell me about my spreadsheet." So I clicked on a cell, and it was a speed of sound calculation, and it's just a bunch of cells referencing other cells.
right, right.
And it said, "This appears to be a speed of sound calculation." I'm like, "Okay." I mean, it's doing something. So,
It's
I
it
don't know.
yeah, it just can find things faster than you imagine it could. That's basically what it's doing. But that's fine, you need that. That's useful.
Mhm. So this gonna be our AI episode? I thought we were gonna talk about.
No, I'm ready to move on to the next
Okay.
topic.
Well, good.
Okay, how about that I wanna talk about that, that game yesterday.
Now, I didn't get to see all the games yesterday.
There's a the last second half was really good. I think it's one of the best games so
So we're talking about the 2026 World Cup. FIFA World Cup is going on right now, and this is the first time they've had, how many teams is it? It's,
48.
48 teams, and so there's a knockout round of 32 just finishing up now, and then, tomorrow starts the round of 16. So there's just a few games today to finish up the brackets.
Yeah. Well, another interesting, really interesting thing about this World Cup is the diaspora of the like every European team has people from all over the world, a lot from Africa, and it's just they're their best players, and it's just so there's that element. Then there's the fans all over the country in Canada and Mexico are just having a great time, which I'm glad. I feel like here in the Bay Area, I don't feel it here. It's just it's just people with money that can go to the game. And there's not like you don't go to the stadium and hang out there out like outside or there's no place to go and like be and watch it on a big screen. There's just it's just missing from here. But I think in the other cities and in Mexico, definitely Canada.
Mexico, sure. Uh, I watch them on Telemundo mostly because I
Do
like the
you? Yeah,
commentators better.
yeah.
But Mexico is showing some great hospitality and spirit, and they're consoling like the Japanese team when they lose, and also the Iranian team. They were so good to them.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Make me like see Mexico in a different light that they don't always get shown in.
Yeah, yeah. The Iranian story is really interesting. And it's hard it's I mean, in so many levels, like, we're actually at war with Iran right now, and, and I was just listening to the news that I didn't realize that none of the Senegalese fans even got to come because they didn't get visas. They weren't given visas.
Yeah, I saw a lot of local people in the stands with Senegalese shirts that looked
Yeah,
suspicious, but they
but
man, they showed up as a team.
there's, like, all the like, another story I heard was, like, the Jordanians made it to the World Cup for the first time, I think, and, like, all the people that came to America over the years from Jordan, they went to I don't remember where they played here in the States, but they all gathered there, and it was, like, the first time they ever gathered together, ever, this group of Jordanians, and it was just life experience. Only the World Cup can do that. Only the World Cup can do it.
Yeah. for sure. But you were saying earlier about the players from all these European teams being some from everywhere, diaspora, but
Yeah,
our
right.
best players from Africa, are one of our
Yeah,
best players, our
definitely.
best scorer who just got a red card. When they were playing Bosnia Herzegovina, remember what there were a couple of people that were born in the U.S. on the Bosnia Herzegovina team that were displaced because they had to flee, that whole war that was going on at the time when we were in college
Yeah.
in the former Yugoslavia. So it's interesting.
Bos Bosnia was at war with Croatia, weren't they? Was that
Hmm.
the war? Yeah, and Croatia and they're a good team. Bosnia was pretty good team. Just wild. It's just
Yeah, it
shit.
was
And Iraq as a team.
no, in Scotland made it, which was interesting because they had to
Scotland.
go to Boston and drink the beer up there, which is probably better than what they could get in Arlington.
They didn't drink Bud Light. They liked the Sam Adams
They did like the
in
Sam Adams.
Boston. They like
But some of the people liked, I think the ones in Houston liked, I saw there were some of them that liked Shiner Bock, which is
okay.
interesting. I guess that would make sense.
What about that Germany loss?
That it didn't surprise me that after he missed that, well, the keeper saved that first penalty shot. It was just exciting, but I'm just going to say this. I think arrogance beat Germany. That's what I think. They just so sure of themselves in a penalty kick out shootout situation. They never lost one, I guess. Well, they just did.
It was I don't know how could yeah, they did. And it is arrogance, hubris.
Yeah,
And
hubris.
that's I think all the European teams feel the same way though. So, I mean, they're everybody shits on the USA for good reason, but but they're doing pretty good. Did Balogun deserve that red card?
So I think to me, it's like a flagrant foul in the NBA. It's really hard to tell between one and two, and one will
Mhm.
get you suspended, and one will just get you a warning or whatever. And I think it's like that. But I think the fact that it came on a VAR with no card called at all to go
Right.
straight to a red card is probably wrong.
Yeah.
But I can see where it would be possible to call that. The rules allow for that to be called.
And I've seen a couple of calls where there's nothing called and then they review it on the VAR and then you can see it deserves a red card. This one, it's probably our biases, but I thought not at all.
I didn't think so,
Yellow.
considering that Messi had a similar, and it's really not. It doesn't matter what happened with Messi, but he had a very similar play, and then he went on to score 3 goals. Uh, but raking the studs down someone's leg and then stepping on their foot in that way is dangerous. It's unintentional. It still can be called a red card.
If the USA had gone on to lose, that would have been a different story, I think. What Pulisic did in that last game was he's just every time he touched the ball, he was making a play. There was
He was.
something happening, and that everybody else wasn't doing that. And him with Balogun
That's what we need.
made it. Yeah. And who can replace Balogun?
Diego Luna, who's not here. Anyway, we won't
And
talk
you
about
see,
that.
I can't believe that they always show that commercial that Bank of America where he has his nose
Uh-huh.
broken.
Yeah.
My
Didn't let him
God.
on the team. What is wrong? Well, and
Pochettino. I don't know. It's gonna be another good game. I'm enjoying it.
yeah, I'm enjoying it too. So that's World Cup 2026. Do we want to keep this at a 30-minute episode or do we want to just,
Um, I actually wanted to talk about a book.
okay, let's do that.
When you see this, does it is it reversed on your
Dungeon.
screen?
No, it's right. I can dungeon crawler, Carl, Matt.
You can see that
Evening.
correctly? Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. My when I went to Texas the last time,
Mm-hmm.
we had a dinner and my nephews, both of them, suggested this book to me. And I started it. I got it and I started reading it. It's about it's a end of the world. It's kinda like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in the beginning. So this planetary some aliens come and actually destroy the Earth, and there's, like, millions anybody that's outside during the attack survives, anybody inside dies, inside of anything, and everybody left over has to go like a Dungeons& and Dragon type game, a real Dungeons& and Dragon type game, and it's hilarious, it's actually hilarious. I started and I thought, "Ah, I know what this is. It's gonna be fluff," but I was reading and reading, it's really good and funny, and it really does I think you'd like it a lot.
Sounds interesting, and give me the name again? I had not seen that author's
And
name.
it's, this is
Matt
just the
Denny.
first book, there's, like I think there's probably 10.
Did you read through all the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I did.
After a while, it got to be it was great, but it was formulaic.
But this one is yeah, I don't know how it's gonna end, but it's like a 30 level game, Dungeons& and Dragons levels, and it goes to the first 3 levels, I think, so. There's there's what else did I wanna talk about? Um,
You want current events? The themes that we talk about are current events, poetry, literature, pop culture,
so you already
sports.
had your big family 4th of July, what are you doing tomorrow on the actual 4th of July?
I think I'm not gonna do anything. Just sit around here. So what are you
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
do?
yeah. Watch soccer and, make some barbecue pork ribs.
That'll be great. That'll be bringing a 250th birthday just right. But yeah, so 250 years of this experiment. But when I was in the second grade, 1976, you were in first.
Yep, I
No,
remember. I was gonna ask you about this, go ahead.
the Freedom Train came through town. Do you remember? You were going to
Mhm.
ask me about this because they took us out to the railroad tracks and we watched it go by. It didn't stop here. It stopped in Austin. It stopped in San
Uh-huh.
Antonio, some other places. But I remember it coming through town, so and I was just wondering if anybody had a photo of it because that was going to be my PowerPoint instead of this Chat GPT. I
Uh,
pivoted from that. But I didn't. No one seems, or at least they didn't say they remembered. So you remember it?
I do remember that I have a vague memory now that you mentioned that, and I also remember we went out I think we went to Gordon Wood or Centex Stadium then, and we sat there. It was full of people. It was a huge celebration. That's my memory. And we were eating. We threw blankets on the ground on the field, and
Hmm.
all these families from everywhere were there. I mean, it had to be really planned out for my family to be there too,
Hmm.
doing it. It must have
Yeah.
been. I don't know how. Maybe I'll ask around too.
Well, so I went and searched, and there's these old railroad museums and stuff. They have pictures of the train, and they even have pictures of it stopped there in Austin because you could it had a museum in it, so it was a big deal, man. But nobody that I know seems to remember the thing. So
That
it
does
it all
sound
of a sudden
right.
didn't happen.
No, it probably happened.
Well, there's a lot of great photographs. I wanna send them to you. So Freedom Train. Oh,
Oh, so anyway, let me just end with that goal, the controversial goal that was annulled. So the the thing that eh, so he hit it. The guy was definitely offsides, but it tipped his his fellow player's hair, and then he hit it. So he was offside. If it hadn't have hit the guy, because it hit a defensive person before it hit the offsides guy, it would have been a goal.
yes.
But they reviewed it over and over, and then it has this it has because there's something in the ball, some chip in the ball that knew that it just barely touched the hair of the guy, and they counted it a no goal
And
because
this
of
is
that.
Croatia's possible
Yeah,
game tying goal
yeah,
in that last
Yes,
in
and
extra time.
there's this it's just a little you can see the graph, it just goes like this, and there's a little blip where you hit the touch there, just a little blip.
So they do it with a graph, and that's, that could be questionable. There could be all kinds of noise, and it reminds me of volleyball. If you watch the Texas women's team has been great, but sometimes
Uh,
the out of bounds call, you can see it coming off of a player's hand, and that that they have to review that. And it's one of those things. If the ball hits your finger, it'll bend back, but you can
yeah,
barely.
yeah,
Sometimes,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it moves a little bit, and so I wonder if it's that hair thing. Is it just if the hair?
It's
Because how
you
could it sense?
if you look at it, it looks like he doesn't hit it. It looks, and in fact, Asuncion convinced he didn't hit it. I'm sure most of Croatia is convinced of that too. But
Yeah, I'm
if you
convinced
look
of it.
at the graph, if you look at the graph, there's just a little blip.
I don't know about this guy's particular hairstyle or anything, but human hair is what, 11, 12 microns, possibly. And the flexibility on a hair, even if you got Aquanet in there, there's going to be almost no measurable force. The wind resistance around the ball would be just as much. I don't know. I don't know.
It must have hit his head then, right? Had to hit something.
If there was a change in pressure, how do they measure? I want to know the actual way, the device by which they measure that.
I was reading about it this morning. It's some kind of technology that they use in cricket because there's so many close calls in cricket, so the
Okay.
ball has this chip in it, and what were they calling it? I can't remember the name. It had a strange name. Skeptometer or
Not like it
something.
wouldn't be a spectrometer because that's just
Not a spectrometer, something meter. Something
something
dash meter.
more. A badass ometer.
Anyway, Modric played great. He
Yeah.
really did. Ronaldo scored a goal. It was good.
Modric. You know who I read this stat, and I don't know if it's accurate either. I haven't checked it out, but Mexico is the only team left that has a clean sheet.
Yeah, definitely. They played amazing that last game.
Yeah.
Something about the stadium. I don't know what it is. Something's going on there.
Oh man, they are having so much fun. And in the U.S. we're having pretty good time, and Canada's having a pretty good time, but Mexico is showing up, man. It's pretty cool.
They're they need it too, as just as much as we do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's helping, hopefully helping all of our images a little bit.
Yeah, I like to
Canada, I
see.
mean, I don't know. They're just Canada. I don't know that anybody hates them or loves them. They're not usually controversial.
I know one person that doesn't like them. Yeah. Um,
So you want to do the final thought?
my final thought is that I hope USA wins the next game. Is it
Belgium?
Belgium? They were playing really well,
Mhm.
but I don't know how we can do it without Balogun.
I don't either, man. But we'll give it a try.
I think Mexico's going to make the next round.
I think they can beat England and Harry Kane.
England didn't look great, but they just have that stamina, which I'm talking about. Those teams, they
Able to finish
know
the game because they were down.
they know they know how to play the whole 90 minutes. That's the thing.
Okay, well, till next time. This has been the Trivial Pursuits of Jug and RTDL. Hope you have a wonderful 4th of July and
Happy Independence Day 250.